Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to High Quality Trades. This is the channel where I provide top-notch technical analysis of the stock market, and we go over simple support and resistance levels, trendline breaks, and pattern formations. And I give you the price targets of where price is headed in the coming days. So in today's video, we will be going over the SPY, the Triple Qs, the VIX, Amazon, HD, Caterpillar, and Adobe stock. First up, we got the SPY on the 4-hour time frame. On Friday, the SPY managed to close at 562.13. It reached a high of 563.09 and a low of 557.29. We were positive 1.06% on the day. Alright guys, what is price currently doing? Well, it does look like we're trying to fill a gap on the 4-hour time frame that doesn't fill until around 564.54. If we're able to fill this gap and push above to the new all-time highs level above 565.16, that is bullish for price to probably get a full pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge. If we just take the opening and move it over, it does signal that we will be reaching upwards of that level. But if price cannot get above this gap fill area here and we fall lower, we will have support at the 555.16 level, but if that level broke, we would fall all the way down to 547.55. If we drop down into the 1-hour time frame, it does look like we have what is known as a megaphone type pattern on the charts. If this pattern is to break either way, towards the upside or downside, we'll go with the upside first. That would signal the price is going to reach upwards of that 575.74 level. But say we break below to the downside, that would signal that price falls all the way down to 542.40 in the coming days. Ultimately, we'll just have to wait and see which way this pattern goes tomorrow and if we do get a full pattern completion or not. Alright, let's drop down into the 15-minute time frame. So we are above our 200 period moving average on the 15-minute. That is bullish for price to continue pushing higher. We first need to get above this 563.17 level. But if we cannot get above that, we fall back below the 200 period moving average. That is bearish for price to fall back down to 555.16. And if we broke below that level, we wouldn't have any support until 547.55. Okay, that is it for the SPY. Now let's go over the Triple Qs on the 4-hour time frame. So it looks like the Triple Qs managed to find support here at the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour. We did stay above our 475.74 level. That is bullish for a price to push upwards of the 484.45 level. If price manages to get above this level, then we will probably be headed up towards this gap fill area here. This gap doesn't fill until 495.68, but that would be the next price target for where price should head if we break above the 484.45 level. Ultimately, we're looking for a full pattern completion of this falling broadening wedge that the Triple Qs formed a few weeks ago. This pattern doesn't fill until around 490, but that's where I'm at least looking for a price to head before any type of bearish momentum comes into the Triple Qs. Now, let's drop down into the 1-hour time frame because it does look like we have a similar pattern to SPY, which is a megaphone type pattern. If we do get a full pattern completion of this come Monday, or if we break out either way, if we break to the upside, we would get a full pattern completion at 503.54, and if we were to break to the downside, we would head all the way down to 555.55. So ultimately, we'll just have to see which way this heads tomorrow. Alrighty, so if we drop down into the 15-minute time frame, the Triple Qs is below its 200 period moving average. This is bearish for price to fall back down towards support at 475.74, and if we broke below that level, we wouldn't have any support until 467.76. But if price manages to get back above the 200 period moving average on the 15-minute, that's bullish for price to head upwards to the 484.45 level. If we were able to get above this level, then we could head up towards that gap fill area I was talking about that doesn't start to fill until around 493.06. Okay, that is it for the triple Qs. Let's go over the VIX on the 15-minute time frame. So on Friday, it looks like we did close below the 200 period moving average on the 15-minute. That's bearish for price to fall down towards the 1537 level. And if we were to break below that level, we wouldn't have support until 1396. But that would be bullish for the market if the VIX was to fall. Now, the 200 period is still sloping upwards, so we need to remain cautious. The most likely scenario, while this is pointing to the upside, would be to head towards resistance here at 1723. And if that level broke, we wouldn't have any resistance until 1933. There's a gap here on the 15-minute time frame that will probably be filled early. The sooner the better. This gap doesn't fill until 1748. But let's bring up our MACD here. Ooh, so MACD is approaching the zero line, but we are getting some bearish momentum. So we'll have to see if we do get a bearish cross and maybe the VIX continues to break through supports. But if this does break through the zero line, that is bearish and we will be moving higher on the VIX. So let's just watch for that. We do have this giant gap to fill on the daily time frame that doesn't fill until around 38.93. Okay, that is it for the VIX. Let's go over Amazon stock. So Amazon looks to be in a falling wedge type pattern. If this pattern does break to the upside, that would signal if we do get a full pattern completion, the price would reach new all-time highs somewhere around 208.26. So that would be bullish for a price. But if we cannot break above this 181.19 level, then we will be headed back down towards 166.01. That would be bearish for Amazon. I would say what we want to see happen is this MACD start to curl up and create green bars on the histogram, and then that would be bullish for a price to continue pushing higher in the market. But as long as this is sloping downwards and approaching the zero line, that's bearish for this stock. Alrighty, we're just going to stick to the 4-hour time frame on this one. That is it for Amazon. Let's go over HD stock. Okay, so on Friday, we managed to break through our resistance level here at 372.69. It is bullish for Home Depot to keep moving higher up to our next resistance level at 388.50. Our MACD has curled upwards and started creating green bars on the histogram, so this is bullish for a price to continue pushing higher. I do notice a little bit of divergence, though, between price and the indicator on the 4-hour here, so that could be bearish, but ultimately price is king and we have to watch what price is doing rather than what the indicators are suggesting. A lot of the times the indicators can fool you, so focus on solely what price is doing and you will do much better in the market. Okay, that's it for HD stock. Let's go over Caterpillar. So Caterpillar on Friday managed to push up to this 348.41 level. That's where we closed. Managed to push up to the 350 level, which I've been talking about for some time. Price does need to get above the 350 level to continue pushing higher, and we would be headed up to our next resistance level at 365.03. But if we cannot get above this 350 level, that would be bearish and would probably fall down towards the 334.16 level before we had any type of support. Alrighty, the MACD just started to curl upwards with Friday's price action and creating green bars on the histogram, so that is bullish for a price to continue pushing higher. I would say at least getting above the 350 level would be most likely to happen come Monday. Alrighty, that's it for Caterpillar. Let's go over Adobe stock. So Adobe stock is actually one that I traded last week. So I bought it 2 weeks ago actually on Friday. So I bought it this day here, which was it was Friday the 16th. So what I had noticed was Adobe stock was breaking above its upper descending trend line of its broadening wedge. And when I went out onto the daily time frame, the MACD was starting to curl up and creating green bars on the histogram. So that did signal to me that price momentum was going to continue pushing higher on this stock. So I purchased the 552.50 contracts, and then I went into the 15-minute time frame and just followed this 200 period moving average until price ultimately fell below it here. So it actually doesn't look like maybe I held it for that long, but it felt like forever, I'll tell you that. So in the 552.50 range is where I bought, and then we rode it up all the way till it broke through resistance here at 562.02, and then our next resistance level it was trying to get above at 570, ultimately where I was thinking about selling my contracts, which would have been the top, but Thursday's price action we fell off a cliff for quite some time. Falling below the 200 period moving average was my sell signal, but I decided to hold a little bit longer. I found another support level here at 558.04, which price managed to hold. And then we got another push back up towards the 200. And ultimately, this is where I sold my contracts at, for just a few dollar profit. But it was ultimately a win, so you can't be mad at a win. And then I guess I can go over one more here, guys. GWW was the one I was talking about in my last Thursday's video. Now this one was breaking above a resistance level and a short-term trend line that looked like a bullish pennant pattern. So I purchased it on Friday, and then we did get a slight push higher. Anyway, I think I bought somewhere around, I bought when it was under the 980 level, but the contracts were pretty expensive. So I bought the 990 calls. And the reason being is our MACD has just started to curl over and create green bars on the histogram. So that's bullish for price to continue pushing higher. Ultimately, there's a giant gap on the daily time frame that does need to be filled. That doesn't fill until around 1,008. That's where I'd be looking for price to head in the coming days, and ultimately that's where I'd want to sell. One thing I was noticing, on the weekly time frame, we are also getting a bullish cross of the MACD and getting our first green bar here. So this could be a bullish signal for the next week to continue pushing higher, but we're just going to have to see which way price goes come this week. On the 15-minute, we have remained above the 200 period moving average, which is bullish for price to continue pushing higher. What I'm looking for price to do is just follow this 200 period moving average towards the upside until we get that gap fill around 1,008. But, nothing's ever for certain in this market. So if we do fall below my support level here and get below that 200 on the 15-minute, well, that would have to be my stop loss. So, all right, guys. And with that, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching High Quality Trades, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh, the next video I'll put out on Tuesday for Wednesday's price action. Thanks for watching. See you guys.